If you want your dog to stop barking, pulling on the leash, or even chewing on all your things, then there are simple tricks you can follow to correct these behaviors. Instead of yelling or punishing them, these methods are much more effective in turning your dog obedient and well-behaved. We will discuss all of that and more. But first, let's begin with a vital skill for your dog's safety, teaching them not to eat things off the ground. We all know the dangers of your dog ingesting everything in sight. If they eat the wrong things, it can lead to choking or poisoning. To protect your furry friend, it's crucial to teach them the leave it command. Here's how you do it. First, set up a training area by placing low-value treats in a line on the floor. Keep your dog out of the room for now. Once everything's set, bring your leash dog into the room. When they see the treats, firmly say, "Leave it," and walk past them. If your dog ignores a treat immediately, reward them with a high-value treat and keep moving. If they try to go for the treat, quickly cover it with your foot and use the leash to prevent them from reaching it. Once your dog can ignore each treat individually, step it up by walking past the entire row after giving the leave it command. When they succeed, celebrate with something special, like a game of tug or a chew bone. This shows your dog that ignoring things on the ground leads to even better rewards. To ensure your dog understands the command everywhere, practice in different locations, like outside, on the sidewalk, or in your yard. Replace food with other tempting objects like toys to help your dog learn to ignore anything on the ground unless you give permission. But next up, let's tackle a common bad habit that most dogs have and is extremely frustrating for many owners: getting your dog to stop jumping on people. Dogs jump for attention and excitement, or simply not knowing what else to do. It might seem cute when they're puppies, but it can become a problem when they're fully grown. So how do you stop this bad habit? The first step is to ignore it. Only give your dog attention when all their paws are on the ground. If your dog jumps on you and you react by looking at them, touching them, or talking to them, you're basically telling them that jumping is okay. One of the most common mistakes I see happens is pushing them away when they do this. However, this could make them think that jumping gets them attention. Instead, walk away and ignore them for a minute. Repeat this until they calm down. Remember, consistency is key. This will teach your dog to control their emotions, and in turn, stop impulsively jumping on people. Now let's have some fun and teach your dog a cool trick: the speak command. Teaching them to speak on command is easier than you might think. Here's how you can do it. Start by doing something that will cause your dog to bark, like holding a treat just out of reach. Be patient and wait. Eventually, your dog will get frustrated and bark at you. The moment they do, immediately say, "Speak," and reward them with the treat. Repeat this process several times. The key is to wait for your dog to bark and then associate that bark with the speak command. Keep practicing this until your dog reliably barks when you say speak. It's a fun trick that will impress your friends and give your dog a way to communicate with you. However, another frustrating dog habit that you need to correct is teaching your dog to stop begging for food. Does your dog just not leave you alone during dinner time? It's important to show them that begging won't work. While it might be tempting to share your meal, this reinforces the unwanted behavior and can lead to health issues like obesity. Plus, some human foods are dangerous for dogs. Instead of giving in, only reward your dog when they are well behaved and not begging. If they start begging while you're eating, use commands like sit or leave it to redirect their behavior. For instance, if your dog jumps on you to beg, calmly tell them to sit and ignore them until they do. Your dog will soon learn that begging doesn't yield results. When it comes to treats, choose small, healthy options that won't distract them or take too long to eat. This keeps them focused during training sessions. By not giving treats from the table, you teach your dog that good manners are what earn them rewards. But really quickly, before we continue, if you find these tips helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more educational and enjoyable dog videos like these. But anyways, if you thought that was tough, this next behavior is one of the hardest to correct. Teaching your dog not to bark. Barking can be one of the most annoying things dogs do. They not only bother you, but they can also be a huge disturbance in your community. There are a few ways to correct this. The most simple and straightforward is not to respond or acknowledge them at all. No touching, no talking, no eye contact. This way, you're not reinforcing the behavior. Sometimes dogs may bark out of boredom or loneliness. Being social animals, dogs can become unhappy if left alone for too long, leading to excessive barking or other issues like chewing on furniture. This is why it's important to make sure your dog gets enough physical and especially mental exercise. With constant practice and a lot of patience, your dog will learn to control their barking. Nevertheless, this next thing you should teach your dog is absolutely crucial. The come command. Ever wonder why your dog ignores you when you call them? Often we unintentionally train them to do just that. If you repeatedly call your dog and they don't respond, you're essentially teaching them that it's okay to ignore you. The key to changing this behavior is to ensure your words count. In dog training, the principle is simple. Behaviors that are rewarded will be repeated. If good things follow a behavior, your dog will want to do it more often. So let's apply that to the come command. It can be frustrating when your dog doesn't respond immediately, but always remember to reward and praise them when they finally come. If you scold them or punish them when they arrive, they'll be less likely to come next time. For example, if you only call them when it's time to leave the park, they'll start associating come with the end of fun. Instead, call them periodically, reward them, and then let them go back to playing. This teaches them that coming to you doesn't always mean playtime is over. Use high-value rewards to make coming to you more enticing than the distractions around them. I have a couple of high-value treats and training tools I use with my own dog, which you can check out in the description below. But anyways, last but not least, let's address one of the most common issues dog owners face: leash pulling. Dogs pull on the leash because it gets them where they want to go faster. The more they pull, the quicker they reach their destination. But with the right approach, you can change this behavior. When your dog begins to pull, become a statue. Stand still and refuse to move until your dog comes back to you. Don't drag or jerk the leash. Just stay firm in place. This teaches your dog that pulling won't get them anywhere. Once they realize that pulling doesn't result in forward movement, they will start to change their behavior. When your dog returns to you and the leash is loose, praise them and offer a treat. Then continue walking. Consistency is essential. Each time your dog pulls, stop and stand still. With patience, your dog will learn that a loose leash is the key to continuing the walk. Hope this video was helpful. If you learned something new, consider checking out this other video about the 13 unmistakable signs your dog is sad. See you there!